somebody, it sounds like windshield wipers. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Social Media Cons, and Elizabeth Stanton is here. Hooray. Hi. Giving us time during her break to talk to us. And Casey Judson is here. Is that right? Casey?
Let's hope he is.
I hope he is.
I am trying to be here. I believe I am.
Hey!
Hey! What's up, hoser?
No, what's that term? Hoser? What does that mean?
Hoser, isn't that what they Canada? Isn't that a Canadian compliment? Hoser.
I don't know. I haven't personally heard it myself.
H-O-S-E. I don't know. Never mind. Hello, how are you? Forget I said that.
Isn't that the song, Casey?
Are you sure it's like a gay term? Sounds like a gay term.
No.
A gay term?
Isn't that the song?
What's that?
That's the song. Do 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 do. Remember that? That's where hosers came. You know, that's where I learned about.
Oh, from SCTV, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
What are you guys doing tonight? What's the news? Where's Pauline? I tried to get Bryan in, but I guess he's still sad, I guess.
Well, I've got stuff to give him and Tracy, and I tried to find him just now, and I just got back from trying to find him, and I couldn't find him, so I don't know where he is, but yeah.
Maybe Facebook's eradicated him along with the people who are giving out the vaccines.
Maybe, yeah. He took the vaccine, and now he can't talk now. Fucked up.
I know at work she's actually had the first dose. She hasn't had the second one. She hasn't really had any bad complications. She said her face is a little bit puffy, but aside from that, she's okay.
Who took it? Who did this?
One of the women at my work who's also a nurse.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, she took the first dose.
Oh.
Hold on. You want to hear the irony? The reason she took the first dose is because she wanted to go on an all-expense trip to Mexico, and in order to go, you had to get the vaccine. Except, fun fact, thanks to Trudeau, you can no longer leave Canada.
Oh, no. Wow.
He's made it illegal. Hold on, isn't this really convenient? Now they've stopped travel. You can't leave the fucking country.
It's locked up.
Oh, but if you do come back to Canada, then you have to, if you left the country and you fly back, now you got to pay them like $2,000+ so that you can stay in a hotel for 3 days without seeing anyone else. And if you test positive because their fucking test that always has fucking false positives, then they lock you up in some internment camp.
Oh, they actually have camps now?
Yeah, to my knowledge, they've got government facilities.
Why doesn't anybody? Did you guys have protests there? Was there Black Lives Matter protests?
Oh yeah.
Nobody's ever really violent in Canada, right?
Yeah, no, we had some Black Lives Matter protests. I'm sure that all 20 black people in New Westminster really appreciated it.
Yeah, but there's no violence though, right? There's no. It's all lame, non-violent protest.
Canadians are the most fucking pathetic sheeple you've ever met. Hold on, there's this group called Where's the Party at Vancouver, and I literally posted in there because all I saw was COVID Karens going, why are there nothing but COVID Karens in this group? Where's the party at? Is anyone actually willing to meet up? And by the way, if you fucking criticize me on this, you're going to prove my point. Followed by 5,000 Karens going, how dare you want to go out? You're not a comedian. You should go and die. And then I found out there's another group, and they are like, where's the party out at Vancouver Adult Edition? So I joined that, and everyone in it is making like private chat groups so that they can have underground parties because all the ones in the other group turn to trolls.
Oh, nice. Well, they should be partying. That's what they're supposed to do.
That's Canada for you. It's a bunch of people who are literally in a party group going, I hate partying. How dare you want to go and party?
Yeah, we got some fucking idiots around both these countries. There's some real fucking idiots out there. I'll tell you that.
I saw an interesting analysis. I think the people who are happy about this were the people that were absolutely miserable in their lives before it.
Ooh, that might be.
Of course.
Think about it. They never had a chance to earn $2,000 a month before, and now they're just sitting at home in mama's basement getting $2,000 while they fucking fiddle with themselves and go keyboard warrior online. They're like, oh my god, it's like I was getting paid nothing for this before, and now I get 2,000.
So that's what they give everybody there now, 2,000 a month?
Oh no, just the people who are unemployed, lazy fuckers.
All right, yeah.
So you don't get anything?
Oh no, I'm just hard at work earning money so that the government can steal it and give it to the other people who aren't.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, you know, it's better to work than to do that. Okay. Isn't it better though? Don't you think? Although it's easy to be like fucking, it's nice to stay home and not do shit, but it's obviously not sustainable.
Not to
you know,
me, please. If I was getting 2,000 a month and I had nothing and I fucking already was like making money, here's the thing: is I have a job that earns me way more than that, so that would be pointless because I wasn't an apathetic twit and I already had a job. But if I had nothing better to do and they gave me $2,000 a month that I didn't have and I already wasn't earning that before, if it was me, I'd be renting out a venue or fucking like a big apartment and having illegal parties all the time.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, there are some people though who lost their jobs, right?
Well, yeah, a lot of people lost their jobs thanks to this, but don't forget they're heroes.
I know, but they lost their jobs, but they're not like fucking. They weren't like necessarily lazy. They took away their jobs.
Yeah, right? No, I know, but JP Sears is always saying that, but that's okay though, because even though you're at home and starving, at least that means you're a hero.
Well, yeah, I don't think anybody is a hero. There's not very many heroes out there.
Are you sure? What about the guys who boosted the GameStop stocks? I'm pretty sure GameStop stocks.
Yeah, everyone's talking about that. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I've listened to a lot of point of views about it. It's a pretty interesting thing.
Yeah,
I generally right now, so far, and from what I've listened to, I'm basically against the side of the little guy because I hate the little guy. The little guy. I'm more on the side of the rich guy because I grew up around people who are really poor and they're really dumb. They don't understand how anything works, and I never could understand why they could never become rich in inflicting poverty upon their kids by not doing shit. So I look for.
That's not what this is, though. That's stupid.
I know.
You can't say that though, because there's a lot of people who are just normal people who have just gone against them because they're the rich hedge fund managers. There's no reason not to. What Robinhood and other freaking stock selling things have been doing, though, is completely illegal. They're basically taking everyone's money that they put into stocks and taking their own stock money back and saying, so sorry, because we don't trust you or yourself, you no longer have the stocks anymore, and we're also going to keep 25% of your money.
Well, it's kind of, but not exactly. It's not exactly what happened.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Facebook and Instagram and everyone censoring people for your own good because you can't be trusted. Only the top elites can. Not
exactly, but partially it's like that, but not exactly. One example I would make analogy would be if there was only one grocery store in your town, in your whole town of Vancouver, if there's one grocery store, so one place you could buy food, and say you wanted to buy ground beef, but then a bunch of people got together and thought it would be really cute that because they're free, they could all go in the morning and buy all the hamburger so that the rest of the people couldn't have any hamburger. And then they would say, what do you mean? It's free market. It's free economy. We could date. And so what would happen is you would have to eventually intervene so that everyone could go buy shit.
But Casey, this isn't like that at all though, because they're investing in useless junk stocks.
All they're
doing is taking advantage of hedge fund managers who have gone against Blockbuster and GameStop and all the little tiny guys. All they've done is said, hey, you want these companies to go bankrupt and you've gone and fucked yourself over by putting in a short. A short is a bet against yourself. That's all they've done. They haven't gone and taken away a stock that was like a really useful or valuable one. They're investing and throwing their money away into useless stocks on the purpose that it's going to bankrupt these guys. So I can't blame them for that. It's not like they're stealing all the food.
Well, to me, it's similar almost to me anyways. They're similar to like burning a Target because you're upset that Target is rich. It's the same principle to me, so I don't like any of it personally. Like, why do you want to stop hedge fund managers? Their job is to make people money. That's their actual job. Their job is
why
to
would
hedge.
why would you want to make hedge fund managers rich? Is it going to personally impact you that these rich sobs who have fucking ruined the economy in America and made the Wall Street crash in 2008 happen? No.
Well, I don't hate people because they're rich. You know what I mean? Because that's just jealousy. You know.
But I'm saying they're not hating on them because they're rich. They're just saying you made a stupid negative bet, and now we have a way of fighting back against it. They're not incorrect in doing that.
But it's not illegal to make a bet against. It's actually the same. To me, it's the same principle as buying a stock or even just selling a stock.
Hold on, Casey. If that's your logic, then they shouldn't be stopping them from buying the stock.
Well, the reason why they're doing it is to cause damage and to destroy and to rebel, much as you admit right now. So I'm like, don't expect there be no backlash. Why would you do a rebellion and expect them to be like cool with it? Of course they're going to not be cool with it. They lost $70 billion. That's something right now that they're losing. Why would you expect there to be no? I know. Good. Well, a lot of people say good, but I'm like, why don't you build something yourself? Build something yourself then,
Well, there's nothing wrong. What they're doing is all they're doing is buying a stock legally. Shorting is actually worse. Shorting is worse than buying a stock. What they're doing is totally legal. All they're showing is this is the same thing. Google, they did the same thing. Does this not say something to you that Google and every single server, they banned, what was it called? Not Patreon, not Parler. They banned Parler. And then they're censoring people and saying fact-checking this and fact-checking that. Zuckerberg is saying no political statements, everything is hate speech. And then meanwhile, Google is deleting all the negative reviews of Robinhood. What does this say to you? Corporations are ruling everything. And finally, when the little guy tries to fight back, they're squashing them.
Well, sort of. But also Robinhood is also not a... Robinhood is an app, and so their primary responsibility is to stay in business. And so you'll notice that like people, when they're making all these maneuvers and there are like thousands of them making the same move, they're never considering whether or not somebody's going to stay solvent. So it's easy to just call everybody who accomplishes something rich. Like Robinhood basically is going like, we can't afford to pay all these fucking bets. When you do it all as a group, so there has to be an adult who considers the whole system.
But they're not. It's the hedge fund that has to pay them back.
Yeah, well, Robinhood is an app.
They're bailing them out. This is like the Wall Street bailout of GMC and all those other companies.
Well, there's actually online casinos where you bet on sports, and every time there's a sporting event where too many people bet on one side, they can take it off their board because it's going to cost them too much money. It's of their own discretion, so they can just make, it's not all about like utter complete fairness. All million of you can raise a stock up to fucking, what is it up now, $350 or something like that, Well,
I'm just saying that legally they should be able to. They should be able to raise it to fucking infinity. If they're throwing their own money away, they're legally allowed to.
Well, one thing about that is that they haven't really tested it much in court, and so now it is going to go to court. So it's like currently legal, but there's a lot of things that it may or may not stay legal. I don't really know what is actually so bad about shorting a stock from what I've heard about it. I'm not convinced of what the actual I think it looks like a clever maneuver.
My issue is not with what the hedge fund managers were doing on their side. My issue is with stopping people from being able to bet or use stocks or being able to do anything. I'm all for free will, and therefore they're censoring people. They're using the biggest form of social media, freaking Google. Google is stopping them, for God's sake.
I'm not really that familiar with what Google's doing on it, but I'll have to look at that. But
Robinhood was getting a bunch of negative 1-star reviews, so Google then said no more reviews.
Right. Well, they're trying not to have their business destroyed either way, so.
Let me ask you this: how much a whole thing do you think is a part of the psychological operation to maybe censor or put more regulations on stocks?
I think the whole thing is a chance just to censor people in general, because we're watching literally society prove, like Zuckerberg is saying that everything on social media, you're no longer allowed to have political views, and hate speech apparently does not apply when you're actually bashing people personally, but if you bash nobody in particular, then that's hate speech. Everything is being censored right now and taken off the internet, and anyone that tries to fight back against anything is getting pulled. It doesn't matter if it's stocks. It doesn't matter if you're stating anything online. Anyone that goes against big business and COVID is getting taken down.
Right. That's true. And that's something to be concerned about.
The second that Biden went back into power, he brought in war stuff.
He brought in what?
I don't know what he signed a bunch of contracts for, but for deployment and stuff.
He signed 37, I think it was, executive orders. I think it was 37.
Yeah, and they're all kinds of insane shit.
Yeah, he's being a dictator.
I do like how they're accusing some of the people involved with the GameStop rebellion or whatever on Robinhood of being a right wing. I must say, I find that very hilarious and very. I find it very entertaining.
So actually, Casey, that's why you should be backing them. If you, after all, they're the underdogs.
Well, the only reason I'm backing them is because I keep looking at actual more detailed information on it, besides just being like the little guy and the big guy. So, there's guys who are in business, I mean, not every single person who runs a business who is successful is the bad guy. So I don't know. I have to figure it out exactly. Like, for instance, like you just said, you're not really so upset with the hedge fund managers, right? You don't think they're doing anything wrong. But then earlier you said that they are terrible, evil bastards. So a lot of people are specifically, fuck the hedge. They should all go to hell and go bankrupt. And yes. And then there's other people who are like, that's not really what we're saying. We're not really so. I'm like,
I'm saying that if they want to bet on or they want to put their money into GameStop or any of those other stocks or anything, then they should be allowed to. You should be able to throw your money at whatever the fuck you want, because after all, the hedge fund guys are, except that when they fuck up, they get bailed out.
I don't think they should get bailed out. That's a good point. But there's another thing is that if you go into a store to buy some hamburger, you're free to buy 6 packs of it, 10 packs of it, 12 packs of it.
God,
but
you're not really hungry, Casey, or something?
I'm very into hamburger. The point is that if you get 1,000 people together and you all go buy any commodity so that other people can't get it, then you're doing more than exercising your freedom. You're colluding with a group and you're causing damages to certain societies. It's like if you bought all the gas, or if you bought, you know what I mean?
Okay,
that's
what you are referring to, Casey, as the person who has studied sociology, is the tragedy of the commons. The tragedy of the commons is when people try to take as much of a resource as possible to benefit themselves. However, them investing in junk stocks does not benefit anyone. It just fucks over the people who have bet against those stocks.
Yeah, fuck over or benefit, either one, same thing. If you fuck over one person, you benefit another.
What do you think the hedge fund guys are doing? They're trying to fuck over the little guy. They have bet against him in countless times. They bet against
also, there's another factor that's not mentioned by most people who talk about this, which is that if you can keep track of a record of how many people short a stock. So if you see that a bunch of hedge fund managers are shorting a stock, other people can go and now value that stock and make the same move. So like, say if GameStop's trading at $6 per share, and then a whole bunch of people short the stock, meaning that the stock is supposed to be like $2. Everyone else can see that, and they can also invest. It helps people price the stock. So the stock is actually a shit stock. Almost everybody admits that it's not a very good business. So actually, Peter Schiff, my favorite investor guy, as you know, Patricia, what he says is really interesting, because he doesn't follow memes and stuff. He just goes, why would anybody want to buy a shitty stock? Like, he's like, just because something goes up, like it's up at 350 now, it doesn't mean it has any value. So people just they're fucking around in the stock market, and then they're just doing it on a larger scale, and now it's just like protest. It's another protest. To me, it's just another protest. And I go,
well,
I guess
it's a monetary protest is the only difference. So I don't really see that it's harming anyone. It's not like Occupy Wall Street, which was useless shit, which turned into Occupy every Vancouver park that there was.
Well, I mean, they like trading on Robinhood, and now that Robinhood can't pay all its bills, they might put it out of business. So that might be harming someone, And then also the hedge fund. If a hedge fund can't pay all of its shorts, they have to pay them all off. It costs. One of them had to go to 2 other places and recoup the money. It's not something we care about. Generally speaking, protesters, in my view, generally. Damage first, think of the consequences later. That's the part I don't like. I don't like I'm upset over the rich America, so I'm gonna go to a Target and burn it down and take the shoes. I don't like destruction for no reason. So this is just
I'm pretty sure that what you don't see, considering it's all being censored, is what Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and that guy that runs Amazon, what all of them are making, because they're all fucking over the little guy. They're all betting against us. They're all making profit off of everything horrible that's going on with COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to. I don't know if I see I know there's corruption in the stock market and stuff, but I don't know that it necessarily. I don't know. We'll see what it does. Maybe it'll destabilize the whole fucking thing, and maybe it'll bring it to a head or something. I don't know.
Pauline.
Anyway,
Pauline Williams is with us. Is that right? Or Pauline?
Pauline.
Maybe she's with us. Okay, I hope so.
Hi there. How you doing? We're just having a heated, somewhat, not that much discussion on the stock situation.
It's
Pauline left.
Oh, she might have left. I hope she comes back.
She's a ghost.
We haven't seen her live yet. We're hoping for that one day.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
You're trying to see actual Pauline?
She had the COVID vaccine and her face is disfigured now. She's got Bell's palsy.
Oh man.
Oh no.
We're all fucked. Everything's fucked.
We're learning a lot about the stock market, though. We're learning a lot of people who don't know a lot about the stock market are learning a lot about the stock market, it seems.
Oh, I know nothing about the stock market. The only reason I know is because I'm dating a guy who's got some investments in it.
Okay.
I was like, what's going on?
Oh, you know what I heard is they're gonna do I haven't listened to it yet, but I was gonna listen to a thing where the same people on Robinhood are gonna do the same thing with silver. Oh, and what's interesting about silver is that silver is maybe undervalued. So if you have a bunch of people who collude to make silver go up from 25 to like 75, it might actually stay there because silver is undervalued. So it might actually be a good reason to buy silver for your own personal self because it might actually stay. In other words, GameStop is not likely to stay at where it's at. People don't have enough expendable money to keep propping up a thing because they're pissed off. There's not enough rich people to do that. So eventually they're going to have to sell to recoup their money, even though they say they're not.
That's the thing is that it's like that Bitcoin thing. I've been told I should invest in Bitcoin, but if you look, it's all a game too. It's people investing in something because they don't trust the banks. And likewise, I wouldn't trust the banks. I have all my money in there and it's devaluing every year. But that being said, they're investing in like that Doge one and stuff like that. People are putting their money into something that's completely variable and it can crash at any second.
Yeah, and also people who invest in Bitcoin, they have to tell everybody else about Bitcoin. It's the same as a Ponzi. So if you meet anyone who's into Bitcoin, they will immediately tell you because they need it to keep rising. They actually, it doesn't have a value of its own, so they need people to keep buying it. So it's like, if they just think it's going to go up forever. It's strange. I agree.
This is where I feel like a really bad Jew. If I was really smart, you see, I didn't know what I was doing. Looking back at it, I should have just bought a bunch of gold bars back when I was younger.
Yeah.
Should have sat on that pile of fucking Jew leprechaun gold and been like, well, it's the only thing I know is going to go up.
The main thing that people say about gold is that gold is not going to go down. That's the biggest thing. So people who like it, they're like that's why people are buying Bitcoin because it keeps going up. Gold doesn't go up as much as it never goes down. So it's a good way. It's a
but not a lot.
What?
Yeah.
It doesn't over a 5-year period is what they talk about.
Yeah.
So it doesn't ever not go down. They're talking over a long period of time.
Right.
I think it's stabilized. I think I'm here.
Hi there.
Oh,
Hello.
Sorry,
I want to give my picture. I don't know what's going on. There's
now you just have a round white head and no arms. Your arms are gone. It's weird. You know what happens.
Facebook censorship.
Facebook censorship. It's more.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm being censored.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what I've gathered out of this is that you should invest in gold. We don't know about Bitcoin, and we should also invest in other things that are going to go up all the time. So Ron Jeremy's dick.
No. You want Bitcoin.
I have no idea how you tied this into Ron Jeremy, but I applaud that you did.
Tell you
Because it's always going up.
It's a
Luke-
7. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's a 6 degrees of Ron Jeremy.
Capital. The CEO 5 days ago has resigned because of his tie to Jeffrey Epstein. Luke Capital owns Citadel, or
Your connection's no good tonight so far.
Yeah, it is. It's
Unfortunately.
hard to hear. It's hard to hear. We heard Jeffrey Epstein. That's all.
Yeah, I know. We were like, awesome new Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh no, she didn't kill herself either.
No. Yeah, she didn't. Like Jeff Epstein. He didn't kill himself. I don't know why the fuck would anybody think Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's been almost a year, or it's been over a year since all that mess happened.
Oh, really? Jesus.
Thing. I think, yeah, it was the end of 2019, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
And that
know.
other girl, his girlfriend, is now supposedly the Gizwell.
Maxwell.
Yes.
okay. So going back to that the Luke Capital guy having to resign. Ghislaine Maxwell, it's her son that owns Robinhood.
Oh shit! No way. Really?
I didn't know that.
Fucking
All
everything.
this is Peter Stroke's wife is the assistant dev enforcement SEC as the 22nd. The secretary's brother is a portfolio manager at Citadel. So this they were taking on what's good because Janet Yellen used to get over $800,000 in fees from Citadel. She's asked to recuse herself for being able to tell anyone what to do on this. So this was not just a random pick bad company. It did this on purpose and took on some major users in the.
We're having trouble hearing you, Pauline, but
yeah, we got some serious Domo Origato, Mr. Roboto shit going on.
Yeah, but the Janet Yellen thing is interesting though, because everything of her being Secretary of the Treasury is a conflict of interest.
Yes, it is. And the Citadel owns the Robinhood app. I think that's what she was saying, and that's what I have heard as well. But somebody's son. The Maxwell son owns something. Yeah, I mean it is weird. All these connections.
Okay.
Very strange.
So Maxwell's son owns Ben Psaki's brother is a head portfolio manager at Citadel.
Okay. Ben Burnett.
And Capital already gone bankrupt. This.
I have no idea what Citadel is.
Yeah.
Citadel's a hedge fund management.
Ah, I see. Yes. Yeah, one of the major ones.
I speak truth. It doesn't like that.
They must silence you.
It keeps kicking off.
Well, if it makes you feel better,
I want to stick around. I'm sorry, Pauline. I wish I could stick around and hear the rest of your stuff. Guys, I have to get back to work.
All right, I understand.
Yeah, we'll wrap up in a few minutes, but thank
you guys keep going. I'll listen.
Okay. Do you have a song that you want to leave us with? Can you leave us with a song?
Oh gosh, do you want to hear the Aladdin one?
Yes, let's hear that again.
Okay. I figure it's appropriate. The left can silence the world. Lockdowns, tracking, censorship. Tell me, sheeple, when did you last let your brains decide? They can cover your eyes, steal your rights one by one here, screw you over always and cover how they'll steal your rights. A whole new world. You can't express your point of view. You'll all be censored here and live in fear A nightmare, you're not dreaming. A whole new world. A censored hell I never knew. And when I'm locked down here, it's crystal clear. They're stealing all our rights just like the Jews.
My God. Nice.
By the way, Casey, I know every time you think that I'm inferring that the Jews are stealing people's rights, and whilst I understand that is probably the right-wing perspective, I'm actually referring to the Nazis stealing Jewish people's rights.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
How
okay.
did the right-wing perspective get into that?
I don't know.
What?
She thinks I'm on. I don't know. She thinks I'm on the right wing or something.
Because the last time I did this, Casey was like, yes, Jews are bad.
Oh, right. Yes. I know. I was like, no, that's the wrong message. You're like, that's the wrong message.
Yes.
Somehow I didn't.
Well, you know, on the
Somehow I
bright
didn't
side,
think you were anti-Jew.
on the bright side, I'm the Jewish girl they like to call a Nazi, but they're all Stalinists, so that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
All right, guys, I'm gonna check out of here. Have
All
a
right.
good night.
Thank you,
You too.
Elizabeth. Thank
See you
you
later.
Love.
for joining us. Hooray. Bye-bye.
All right. What a world we live
As
in
much
now.
oh,
Crazy.
my internet. Wonder what's going on.
I don't know. What is going on? Are you in a different spot than normal or in a different
Oh,
phone than
mine.
normal?
It never moves. It's like a desktop. So
Oh. Shit. Well, it's all right. Sometimes you sound okay.
So what do you think? How much of this, Pauline, do you think is a psychological operation with this whole thing and all these characters involved? Oh, is Pauline with us still? Pauline, can you hear me? Oh, maybe she's gone. Oh, wow. Well,
Interesting of the psychological operation angle is interesting, which is like a lot of it is to me like tricking the public into doing something that then later damages themselves.
yes.
So like if you get people to riot on the streets and damage stuff, then later you can say, okay, well we have to infiltrate with more military, and then so if you get like people to invade the Capitol, then you have the pretense to do more. So I do believe that getting people to do this stock action is a rebellion that is authentic, but they don't know the consequences of it. In other words, every time someone acts because they're not educated on it, they don't think about the consequences. They just want to destroy, right? So I get the idea to like go, there must be this enemy that we can go attack and bring down the man, right? Like but if you bring down everything, bringing down everything is not really that good necessarily, right?
Right.
I don't know the consequences either, but I do know that maybe we should do more holding together of things and not further ruin everything. But I don't know, maybe we need to just destroy everything, you know? That's the desperate position though, the idea that like we're at the whims of these higher powers and we should just blow everything up. But I'm not so sure if that's always the best action to take. You know? I don't know.
No, it's not.
You know?
It's not. And also, did you hear Captain Austin Fitz talking about opportunity zones? She did some studies and found out that opportunity zones came about a couple of years ago, and they were ways for billionaires to kind of buy up property cheaply. And a lot of these riots were close to these opportunity zones, interestingly enough. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Really interesting. Yeah.
I wonder how they got people to riot or do violence in a specific area, or if they just knew that would happen. That's not something I'm not familiar with, but
That's a good question.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they or if they targeted, they have those pallets of bricks. That would be interesting to know how many of those bricks were close to the opportunity zones,
One positive thing out of this that I thought might end up being positive was, in a sense, is that they were calling a lot of these people, like Rachel Maddow was calling the people who were threatening these hedge funds and stuff, they were calling them right wing in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And so generally speaking, the people doing that kind of thing are leftists. They're
Oh,
the same people. So if you go on just like social media, and the people I know who are very far left, they're very much pro what happened here. It's not the people who are like, it's not MAGA hat people going, yeah, bring down the hedge funds. It's mostly, from what I've seen, people who are on this side, and they're calling them right wing. So once everyone starts getting called right wing, you might actually see a very positive development. Because what you'll see is you'll see everybody sort of getting it. If everybody gets called right wing, you're going to see quite a bit of people on the same page going, "Oh, it's complete nonsense." So you might actually see some people stop using right wing, as I would think, people with a brain that works, you know.
yeah,
And
right.
they're like going, they'll call anybody who is opposed to any kind of corruption right wing. So right wing will be like a badge of honor. To be called right wing is actually, you know, it means you're opposed to what's going on. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Point. That's a really good point. Yeah.
that's just me being hopeful on it. I don't know if that's true or not, but whatever.
Yeah. A lot of things are changing with language these days. You know, a whole lot of things are changing with language. Very quickly changing with language.
Yeah. They're trying to, anyways.
Yeah, they are.
I had a thing. We had a thing happen here recently that was interesting. Was in Tacoma, Washington, which is like 20 miles from Seattle. There was like a street. They had street cars where they race and they spin around, you know, like out in the street. And a cop came to break it up because it was getting too unruly. And the cop had no interactions with the public negatively. It wasn't like a negative, violent. The cop just showed up to break up the thing to do his normal job. Just a normal, and about 50 people surrounded the cop car and started pounding on the cop car with their hands and shit.
Wow.
And then the cop, because if you get surrounded by protesters, you either have to get out of your car and you have like 50 of them and one of you, and then you end up having to shoot people. Or what he did was he just fucking gunned his car and got out of there, and he ran over a couple people. And then, and my point of view is, what I said my joke was that they had a protest the next day, the same people, and they're basically protesting violence that they caused. You caused the violence if you surround a cop car and you don't let him do his job. Yeah. You caused it by being stupid, and the next day you use it as an excuse to like go to the do damage to the jail and all these other things. And I actually was going, it's totally violence that you like invented. So I said their sign should say, "Sorry, I was being stupid yesterday." You know. So
right.
So it's a weird conundrum to me. Like, okay, just if you go by left-wing premise, the premise is police are dangerous murderers. Police are violent. Police are dangerous. Police are racist. And then when a cop car comes, you surround his cop car and you act as though he's not dangerous at all. Why is there no, you should there's like a multifaceted reasons why you should respect a cop car. First of all, it's the right thing to do is to respect a cop when he comes to do his job. That's normal society. When a cop comes to do a job, you get the fuck out of the way. You're a criminal if you interfere with a cop doing his job. That's a criminal act. So pounding on a cop car is something you should get arrested for, let alone surrounding him and making him like feel threatened. I'm not saying like if a cop is in the middle of doing a crime, that's different. Like if you see a cop doing a criminal act on a person, citizens maybe should get involved and like do something or film it or stop him. But now it's to the point where just seeing a cop sets off people, you know? And so it's just a really ugly situation we have now. You know, like we act like we don't want cops. You know, if we could be responsible for ourselves and not need cops and all do the right thing, that would be one thing. But you know,
and I think that can happen too, and I think that things can be taken care of privately because they have also been, you know, part of this psychological operation, you know, and SWAT teams. They've been doing a lot of stuff that they shouldn't do. A lot of cops have, and so in that sense, have brought that on themselves. But yeah, I agree. We should definitely respect them. That usually works out better when they are respected. I don't know,
It's
Pauline.
just a desperate situation. It's desperation.
I'm here twice. That
Yes.
You're back. Yeah.
Lord. Yes.
I'm not here at all. It keeps
It's
kicking
timer
me out.
on.
Now I'm.
That's a bummer. Are you using your Zoom on the computer? Oh, maybe you didn't press the video button. Did you press it down there? Or go to video. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah, we don't have either video
Can you hear me?
working, but we have about 10 more minutes, so we'll see what we can do in that time. We talked about the stock market stuff. We've talked about the rioting stuff. We talked a little about vaccine stuff. Do you know anybody who's gotten the vaccine, Casey?
Oh no, but I do know this. My friend, who's a teacher, and he's also a comedian, and he says like he's a guy who's like, man, I'm training, I'm a warrior, and I'll just kick everybody's ass, and I'm gonna take everybody out with guns, if they make me take the vaccine. But he's also a teacher, and he said his administrator at school told him that he was gonna consider having everybody wear 2 masks.
Oh,
And then I was like, and I went like, hey, Mr. Courageous warrior guy, did you sit down and discuss with him how you feel about masks? And he's like, oh no, he probably won't even listen. I go, dude, you have to go tell him. You have to be courageous and tell him how you feel. You can't let them do that to your students. You have to at least tell them how you feel. You can't just be a conformist and just go along with it. I don't see, just because even if you're afraid you're losing your job, you still have to stand up for what you believe in, at least mention it. 2 masks is fucking insane.
yes.
That's fucking that's comically insane. We're into the realm of high comedy now. Gonna wear 2 masks.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though is if now you know what they might do? I wouldn't surprise me with our depraved government. If we made everybody in the country mandate that they wear 2 masks, you could be a rebel by only wearing 1 mask. They would go, look at me, I'm a rebel. I'm only wearing 1 mask. Fucking retardation.
Are you gonna
What?
find
What's
out if
that?
you have it or not? Are you? They're doing anal probes now.
We're hearing something about China, but I'm not sure what the rest of that is.
I don't like being denied of your thoughts. I don't like this. I want you to be
Anal probes now.
technology, man. We're victimized by it.
I think that actually she was mentioning something about the anal swab stuff.
Oh Jesus!
Have you
I
read
don't know No, I don't know anything about it. They're gonna do that now?
Supposedly they're doing that in China. I think that's why she
Find
mentioned
out
China.
if you
Yeah, it's really sad.
have
A new COVID test?
coronavirus or not.
An anal COVID test?
Oh,
Yes, in
Kid-
China.
Anal probes. They're doing anal probes. Coronavirus or not.
Yeah. So
Anal probes. They're doing anal probes in China now to find out if you. Am I here or not?
I can hear you now. We can hear you.
Okay, so anal probes. Do you go to get your anal probe?
I don't like anything anal. I'm not into it.
That's what they're doing now
Oh wow. Why?
to determine. I don't know if
Is it just to humiliate people, or what's the purpose?
that's a good
Wow.
question. That's a good question. I would say humiliation. There was actually a meme about that. Where they said if the government told you to do this and something, it was something connected with, in that area. And so I wonder if this is being run by
they've
if they
been
kind of picked up that cartoon or whatever and said, okay, we'll see if they'll do that. I mean, I think sometimes they're just testing us with this stuff.
Definitely, they are testing, of course. And today they announced that they're going into phase 2. I was at a comedy show and people were like, "Aren't you excited about phase 2?" And I go, "I've long ago stopped paying attention." So
Right.
someone was like, "Oh, the government threw me a bone of my own freedom that I already possess. That now I can maybe." And then I called up the open mics that everyone thought was going to open, and they were like, "Oh no, we can't open." They said there's fucking 25% capacity. They're like,
Demonstration
open.
videos
What?
on, huh?
Is
To
that
determine if you have the coronavirus now. It's not good enough to shove it up your nose.
I don't know what the purpose of that is. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's interesting.
yeah.
It's already fucking insane. It's already basically common knowledge that the PCR tests are like inaccurate, but people still keep going by it.
Oh
So
yeah.
I hope they're gonna remove Gavin Newsom. I like how he started saying that he now thinks that the lockdown should taper off. Now he thinks that now.
Now, yeah, I don't know why it is now. Thinking that.
Only now because they're a few 100,000 short of the recall amount of people, so he wants to take an action.
Yeah.
So they do fear people's uprising. They definitely are aware of it and they do fear it.
Well,
we're gonna do.
He was also being sued by like 60 restaurants had sued him, in the past couple of weeks.
Oh, good. Everything should go to court because at least with court, there's like some record of it and there's some chance of winning something, so it's like the only hope really, it seems like.
Yeah, it's a lengthy process, but.
Yeah, they've really fucked over restaurants, I'll tell you that. Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's just us. It's not that big a deal, but we'll do a show. And as soon as we're done, our main thing we'd like to do is go eat. We get together and then afterwards we go to a place and eat, and share laughs. And now when we're done, we're just, what the fuck? We can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no, we gotta hang out on the streets basically, It's just,
yeah. Wow. That's true. Shutting down.
nowhere where you can sit down. We can go to like Dick's Drive-In and stand and get burgers and whatever, but we can't just go anywhere and sit down. It's really bizarre.
Wow. What is phase 2? You mentioned phase 2. What is phase 2?
It's like they're like, oh, some things can open up at certain capacities. Certain things can open up, but I'm not sure of the exact parameters of it. But it's definitely like at a certain capacity, the same kind of thing. Where like, yeah, you can open your thing up at 25% capacity or something like that. But it's another thing where it's like the whole point of it is that, you get all excited and happy that you're open and thing. And then all of a sudden the whole thing is just the system is in place where it can just be yanked out again.
Yep.
The main disconnect needs to be like, all of the freedoms are locked in place. Those are fundamental, locked in place. So in order to remove a freedom, it has to be very specific, very, very, very tiny, very emergency based, extremely based on emergency. The crucial word being emergency. And then this whole thing doesn't qualify as an emergency. It's not the emergency they made it out to be. So, you know what I mean? And that's before you even get into exaggeration of the totals and all that. But even on the raw numbers, it's not enough. You know what I mean? It's a real big error that we should have, we should all be, anyway, you can't say it on your show, but more people should be at the Capitol. More people should have been demanding this. That should have been what was discussed at the Capitol. That's the thing to protest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could literally have 25 million people go to the Capitol, and then they would have, you're talking serious, really meaning what you say. You've got to open things. No more, Like I hope that happens. I hope that happens.
Well, the best protest is just people opening up. That's the best protest. And if that happened, if everybody would just open up, or if most people would, or even a lot more people would, there's no way they can police all those, just like they did in Italy, where 50,000 or however many restaurants just opened up, And
You're right.
that's the best protest that anybody can do, is just completely disobeying this stuff. It's ridiculous.
I agree, man. I need to go get one of these places just to open up their thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? For a show. So somehow just go, man, just do it, man. They're not going to do anything to you. They're
yeah.
not going to do anything to you.
And if
They're
you
not
can
going to
get
do it.
3 or 4 to do that, I mean, there's strength in numbers. But start with one.
Right.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Also, you never be surprised. You'd be surprised how many people, police included, and government officials and stuff, and people who are also, not in favor of this really.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of closeted people who are not in favor of it.
Yeah.
So they just need to start a snowball where, where that kind of happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's good. That's what we'll leave people with. Just open
All
your
right.
stop wearing your mask and open your business, and just, ignore this stuff.
Yeah.
Ignore it.
Try to get Bryan back in the mix, man. Shit.
Yes.
I know he's sad. Did you talk to him at all? He's sad about his dog, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. And I've got brownies for him, so I hope I can find him in the next day or two.
Oh, like physically find him? Like physically? Oh, okay,
That's
cool.
what I went to do tonight, and I didn't find him.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that was nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought you meant on the internet, but you're like actually going to find him. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And I'm
All
going
right.
to go to a grocery outlet too, so it was a good thing.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, it worked out well. But I'd like to find Bryan soon, and Tracy. I hope they're doing well. So, but we got a lot of stuff talked about tonight. I'm glad you're doing your show tonight. Do you have anything you want to sing?
Oh man. Oh man. I don't know. Oh, I can't think of any songs tonight. I might be a little too sad to sing.
Oh, maybe we'll do a little 99 bottles of beer on the wall and go out with that.
Oh, all right. All right.
99 bottles of beer.
99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99. Oh, this is a whole song.
Beer. Take one down, pass it around.
Pass it around. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. 98 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. I want to drink. This makes me want to drink.
97 bottles of beer on the wall. 97
bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 97 bottles of beer on the wall. 97 bottles of beer on the wall. Are you a big drinker?
No.
You're a recovered drinker, right? You're recovered?
Yeah.
Recovering drinker?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So 96.
See, all you can do is sing about beer.
I don't really like
You can't
beer.
drink.
I didn't really.
Oh, really?
Beer.
More of a vodka gal. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, a little more of that. Okay. Well, gosh, thank you so much. This is awesome.
All right.
Well,
yeah, it was fun.
Take care. Thanks for the.
Okay, you too. Good night. Find Bryan. Tell him I said hi. All right, Pauline, get your computer working. All right, talk to you soon.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.